Okay, so back to this formula of body position, extension, and timing. So if I'm moving into a position where I'm going to strike him, okay, work with me here for a second. Okay, I can't hit him effectively from back here. Okay, he's too far away. If I do make contact, I've overextended myself to get there. Okay, so my body position doesn't make any sense. I'm too far away. At the same time, if I'm here, I can generate power for a punch, but it's not going to be as effective as if I'm right here, so that my full extension is inside of it. Now it's comfortable for me to strike. So throughout the whole technique, you want to develop a sense of comfort as it relates to good body position. Okay? Am I in a position where I can strike him comfortably, effectively, and not get hit by him? Am I in a safe place?
Awesome. With that too, like, body positioning, definitely knowing distances, I mean, I'm not gonna be able to hit you from way up here, but if I, burst in, I'll send them right there.
Can you talk about this, about your concept of distances?
Distances, is closing distance, a lot of the stuff, weapon defense, a lot of the military striking, you don't want them to be this far away, they could hold pistol out and be right here all of a sudden. You want to meet them halfway, or if they're coming at you, you come in and you meet them halfway. And close the distance. Close that distance real quick. Obviously kick distance, here, high, I got full extension there versus punch distance. But we also extend ourselves. So a lot of the Krav is moving and, what's the word I'm looking for? Like hip pivoting. Thank you. A lot of it is that. Adds power and distance. From here, nothing. From here, high. So,
yeah, that's the other thing is the hip will change this distance to 3 or 4 inches, and when we're dealing with like etched weapons like the boken, when I do ski with the boken, so pretend you're raising your sword. Okay, so where I want to be for the ski to work is I need your rib cage, so that's why I'm moving over there. And actually, I want to get to his heart. Okay, so I don't want to do this and overextend to try and get him. I don't even want to do this because my arms are vulnerable. Musashi would chop my arms off here. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to get into a good position where I'm here, so that my center can do the ski. Turn the blade sideways so it can fit into his rib cage. Okay. So my ski, again, it comes from my hip. Okay. So all I want to do when I'm skiing with the boken is just move about 8 to 10 inches. Okay. And it doesn't look like much, but that's all center.
That's all power.
you can feel it, definitely. You can feel that moving in. It's just all his own weight moving in. Absolutely. Doesn't take much with a nice sharp sword.
What's that knife disarm you guys do in Kali, where they end up impaling themselves?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Can you show me that?
Yeah. A little technique, and then you're going for this pop, okay, but it doesn't work because you got too hard of a grip. Then I rotate, okay, I pop the arm up, place it against my chest, and then I use my body to force the blade into the ribs. Make sense?
Yeah, one more time.
Okay. So I go in, this doesn't work, rotate, pop it up, and I'm forced in, use my body, press that in there. Oops, sorry. Okay.
What are the 3 ranges that we're dealing with specifically? I can hit your
Long
step
range, I can touch him, okay. Intermediate range, I can touch his hand. And close range, I can touch his head, okay. And you move the combat wherever the guy doesn't want to be. If he's a long range guy, then you want to go into intermediate and close range. If he's a close range guy, you want to stay away from him. Yeah.
So if you're fighting a boxer, you want to take him to the ground.
Yeah.
If you're fighting a wrestler, you want to keep him on his feet.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever don't work for him, that's what you want.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking of. I mean, you have the 3 ranges, but there's also the styles differences. Largamano obviously is a long range, style.
That's way out here.
Right.
In some schools, that's all they do is way long range.
And then I thought it was Serrata. It might have been something different where they use those 12-inch sticks and they move in, and they're only close range because their sticks are only designed for close range.
Yeah, you can't do anything else with them. They're about the same as a blade.
So they master getting inside and being close enough to do damage from there, which has got to be an art to its own. Getting past
stabbing
people.
and snapping. Yeah, it's snapped. That 12-inch stick, you snap it.
Gotcha.
That's where you get your power for that. Yeah. And of course, you could stab with it and you can hook with it. But the concept of it, because it's so short, you can't do anything. You gotta use a wrist snap to get a strike, any power snap. Go back through them again. There's ascending, descending, and then the punyo hook.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
So as you strike one, I go here. Okay, it's hit, but I go up here on top. See where I put my stick? Then I rotate this. Okay, then I can come down. That's descend.
Oh, can you do that one again? Because I let it go.
Okay. And then I'm gonna take your stick, but I'm gonna go down, strip it, descending. Cool. Okay. So you strike again. This time I go under my arm. Now I do a similar thing, only because I went under the arm instead of laying it on the top. I'm underneath. I rotate the stick, and now I ascend as I strip.
Cool.
Okay.
And what was the third one?
The third one was you strike.
That's like Nikyo.
Huh?
Nikyo.
Like that?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think how I set that up.
I think it was
Oh,
Sagong.
it's Sagong, that's what it is. And I grab here, and I hit. You know what that is?
Hi.
Yeah. And I hook.
Cool.
And I can strip the stick and hit.
Okay,
Cool.
show that one more time because that hand change is important. You did a hand change in there, so I want to just come in closer for that hand change.
Okay,
So show that
so-
one again.
Here, okay, I clear this out of the way, and I hit, okay? I change my hand position. Then I set the hook,
And if I
so I
hang
can
on,
take it away. Okay?
you got a Nikyo there too. If I can figure out.
Okay. I'm outside.
Outside.
Mhm. And I just move this, and I'm clearing this out of the way. And actually, there's a belly hit here, a chip. I can chip pow, then hit here, then change my hand position, rotate, so I've got the stick,
Okay.
and this on.
All right. Okay.
And you want to have it do your punyo this much.
Okay. Okay. One more
This
time.
hit, I want to show you something too. You've done this before, I'm sure. But this hit, because I'm hitting with this bone, it hurts your bone, but it doesn't hurt mine.
Hi. Here.
Uh-huh.
Okay. What I would do, is take your hand,
Okay,
and then when this comes down,
you could do that.
use this.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's even better.
Fine.
I'm taking it away. You're making me pay for even using it. When I get in here, I've got a barrier. A lot of Kali is about barriers, removing a barrier and then attacking. So we got a barrier here. So I got to remove that. So then I'm taking my hand. I'll go down here, and I'm gonna chip into his belly. This is gonna be like that. I'm gonna chip in, pow, and that brings me over to here, where I can make this hit. You feel that on that nerve? Okay, and then I reposition my hand underneath, and the punyo comes over and makes a hook. If my punyo isn't big enough, it's gonna be real hard to do that. So you need to have your full one hand distance punyo, and just apply, and you can take the stick away. But the chip is good because it gets you positioned over here where you can do this wrist thing. You've probably maybe done this before. You feel that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and see, it hurts the other person, but it doesn't hurt you as you apply that, as you do that.
One of our outside defense in crowd is wrist to wrist.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff that we do in Aikido, the atemi, is what shows you body position.
Okay.
So that chip that you're doing is what we would call atemi to body position. So
Yes,
instead
to get to the
of
place you
moving to
want
here
to
to
go.
do this, while I'm moving here, I may as well do this.
Yeah.
All right, you want to try that, Nikyo?
Absolutely.
So here,
Yes. What a
nice lock. That is so incredible.
And most of the time in Ikkyo, well, how we apply it is, so I'm not trying to, I don't want to do this. If your arm is straight, I just break your elbow. What I want to do is I want to get into your hip, and I want to do that by communicating from my hip through my joints into your joints. Okay, so I'm trying to bend the elbow. So I can get into your joint.
Cool.
So, okay, so drop your elbow in tight to your body. Okay, now start applying it to the elbow. So push my elbow out this way. Now with your center, move my elbow this way. Yeah. Yeah, it's subtle. It's subtle. And when you look at Nikkyo, there's a few different ways to look at it. Okay. Maybe I'm doing it to the elbow. This is basic because I'm doing the elbow here. Okay. But maybe I've got this right here. Okay. Or if you grab my wrist here. Okay. Maybe I'm cutting. Maybe I'm touching my toes. Okay. Maybe there's like this snake element to it, okay, where I'm coiling and then wrapping it into my center. And that's all in here. If you look at the first 5 techniques, you've got Ikkyo. This is the first technique. And there's Nikkyo, the second technique. And then Sankyo, third technique. And then Yonkyo, the next technique. And then Gokyo. And this is more if he had a knife. This keeps my arm away from the knife. If he had a knife in his hand and I was here, he would be able to cut my wrist.
Right.
So Gokyu's just here. And then the last one is it's roll. But they all work into each other. So the first technique leads to the next technique, leads to the third one. So Ikkyo leads to Nikkyo, leads to Sankyo, leads to Yonkyo, and Gokyu and Rokyu. So
We should just have one class of doing nothing but those 5 things.
Hi.
And bring a notebook and write it down. That'd be cool.
Those 5 things are practically Aikido. That's the
They're very
core, pretty much, isn't that about the core curriculum for
That
the
is,
most part.
that's the core curriculum. Ikkyo, Nikkyo, Sankyo, Yonkyo, Gokyo, Rokyu. That's literally first technique, second technique, third technique, fourth technique, fifth technique. And then you have the other techniques, and I'm not, like you have Kodagaish, and I don't know what Kodagaish means. Then you got Shihonage. But whenever we're doing Shihonage, I just think, oh, she. When you're testing, you have to come up with these names because the instructor is calling out the technique,
And then you
have to know what it is.
Yeah.
So you have to do like word association to figure out what it is. But yeah, a lot of these, like there's Kokyunage, and Kokyunage Kokyu is breath power, and then Nage is the person doing the technique. So the person who's doing the technique is breathing. That's what Kokyunage means. And basically, you have your techniques with names, Ikkyo, Nikkyo, Sankyo, Kodogai, Shihonage, Riminage. But if you don't know what the name of the technique is, it's a Kokyunage, because I'm breathing. So whenever I teach a technique and I don't know what the name is, Kokyunage. It's like learning chemistry, you know, or any kind of a math-based system, because there are a few different parts to the technique. You have your hanni, you have the attack, you have the technique, and then you have the technique variation. Okay? Yeah. So our different attacks, we've got Tapatori. I'm grabbing his wrist grabbing his gi lapel.
Okay. I remember seeing a Tori, yeah.
I have kata manuchi, where I'm grabbing him and striking him. Okay. I have sho manuchi, where I'm striking him, and this is basically a jab. Or I have yoko manuchi, where I'm striking here, and you'll see this is like a hook or the haymaker.
Okay, roundhouse type.
And then you have morotatori, where I have two hands, or I have more hands grabbing, morotatori. Or you have ryotatori, where I have two hands grabbing.
Okay.
Okay, and then I have all of these attacks from behind, where I'm grabbing, I'm moving behind. You grab his wrists and bring him back here.
Okay.
Okay. Or I'm grabbing here, or I'm grabbing here. Okay. So you have all of these attacks, and we should be able to do any of these techniques with any of these attacks, you know. And then we have, there's like a couple of different kicks. So then you have your hamni. So right now we're in gyaku hamni, and then we have I hamni. That's gyaku. This is I.
Okay, you either have both feet are leading on the same side or you're opposite.
Yeah, gyaku means opposite. So here we have opposite feet. My right, his left.
Okay.
Here we have I. I means harmony.
And that's
So
the
we have
standard harmony there.
I.
Okay.
So you have, like for ikkyo, you would have I hamni or gyaku hamni. I hamni, katatatori, ikkyo, amote. So you have your two basic variations, amote and ura. Amote move in front, ura I move behind. So then you have, what hamni are you in? What's the attack? What's the technique? Are you going in front or are you going behind?
Yeah.
And that's how you come up with your technique name.
Wow. You learn, if my perception is correct, you learn all these basic techniques and stances within, you know, the first five locks. And you learn all these things, and then the essence of the art is then you combine these in a combative situation based on an attack.
Hi. So we have to learn how to do all of these techniques with all of these different attacks.
Yes, sir.
And then eventually, you know, techniques just start to appear out of nowhere. And
Like they graph together automatically or something.
yeah. In the beginning of class when we're doing our warm-ups, you know, we're doing these qigong exercises, and we're wondering why we're doing them. You know, why are we doing this? Well, this is how I'm going to take his balances.
Wow.
So I'm bringing down.
Yeah.
Okay. Or how I grab my wrist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, what do I want to do? I grab his wrist and then you know, or we're doing this. I'm finding this in all kinds of techniques. Okay. And then depending on what hand he comes at me with, so come at me with this, just some kind of a punch. So just hold your hand out here for a sec. Just play with me here for a second. Okay. So as this punch is coming in, I have this option. Right?
Wow.
And there's a technique.
Yeah.
I hook my thumb. If you think about your thumb like a puño,
Okay.
there's my nikyo.
Wow.
I got it with my thumb puño. Okay. Or if I go the other way, you know, there's a kodageshi there. Okay. And so this is I hamni. So my right, his right. Okay. Now we're gonna do the same thing. I've got circle here. So what's that? I don't know, but it just showed up. Works perfect. What's this one? Oh, there's kodageshi.
Yeah.
And it just happened.